A system log started predicting errors before they happened. I was on call, half asleep in my apartment with Slack on one monitor and CloudWatch logs insights on the other. At 3:09 I saw a JSON line in our prod ALB group that wasn't ours. Level 1, MSG 503 incoming on /auth. Correlation ID, S793, event time, 3:17, while Z. I pasted it into #oncall. People said I was reading ingestion time wrong. Our ARB logs arrive delayed sometimes. Time zones. Clock skew. The usual. At 3:17, our graph spiked. Same route, same correlation ID. The Lambdas behind /auth flap then recovered. My paste in Slack was now 7 minutes old. I stared at the CloudWatch row and felt like I had walked into a room where someone had just been talking. I checked get filler would predict across our repos. Nothing. Read the container logs, the forwarder Lambda, the ALB access log format. Nothing. I was on Windows 11 using WSL. I sync time. NTP was fine. My laptop clock match time is to the second. In Chrome I pulled up CloudTrail to see who wrote the event. The log group owner was our forwarding role. The put log events call was signed by Arn, Oz SDS, assumed role /log writer. Normal. Except the caller identity line had a session tag I didn't recognize, user Ellie. I didn't know an Ellie. I went to Slack and searched the name. One result, E. Lynn deactivated. She'd posted a handoff doc in Hashim for a year ago about building the original pipeline for logs. The thread beneath it was coworkers thanking her and asking about predictors she wanted to remove when they moved from Kinesis to Firehose. Predictors. It sounded like a joke variable name. I opened VS Code to write a quick filter in the forwarder so anything with MSG starting with a predictor would get flagged. My workspace was run for a repo. GitHub Copilot was enabled because I'd been fixing Terraform earlier. As I typed a comment adjusted to do the grey ghost text appeared, not code, but a sentence. Don't push before 3:17, it'll roll you back. I froze. I thought I was overtired and seeing a bleed from Slack. I disabled Copilot. Ctrl+Shift+P, disable. The grey text flickered and vanished. I typed again. It came back, different, switch to port 8081. It's the port. I checked my settings for other suggestion extensions. No tab 9, no inline completions. The only obvious source was VS Code's word-based suggestions. I searched the workspace for those exact phrases. No matches. I told myself I was primed by the earlier logs and making patterns. I added a line to the forwarder instead. If MSG starts with predict, route it to a separate stream so we could look at it in isolation. I wrote a test string in the unit test, predict hello from dev. Just to have something. When I hit save, Slack lit up with a bottleload and #oncall. It was our CloudWatch forwarder posting high priority predict intros. A new line had appeared in prod with MSG, predict hello from dev, event time 6 minutes ahead. I hadn't pushed. I hadn't even run the tests. I opened CloudWatch in Chrome. The line was there, injected into a prod stream, with my exact string. The resource was a prod ALB group. Its ingestion time was seconds ago. The event time was in the future. The owner field, again tagged user, Ellie. I felt the color go out of my shoulders. I checked IAM. There was no IAM username to Ellie and no role with that tag. CloudTrail had no events with that tag outside the log writes I was staring at. It was attached to nothing except these lines that shouldn't exist. I put my laptop in airplane mode to prove to myself my machine wasn't leaking. I took my phone off Wi-Fi and watched the logs over LTE. At 3:17, another 500 three-wave hit. The line that predicted it was already old. Afterward, I dug through Lynn's GitHub history. Her last commit in the info repo was Banal upgrade in AWS SDK, but in the PR thread someone joked, "Goodbye to your predictors, lol." Her reply was a smiley. No code name or anything like that survived. If she'd implemented a detector in the forwarder, it wasn't in the repo now. I tried to reproduce the phenomenon. I wrote the throwaway string no one could guess the code I generated in PowerShell. I didn't paste it anywhere. I typed it once inside a comment in VS Code offline and didn't save. CloudWatch updated. A predict line appeared with a gate in it. Not the whole thing, the last 8 characters. Enough to make me sick. I started looking for normal answers, a malicious extension, a keylogger, some idiot-level data exfil in a driver. Windows security scan. Wireshark capture on WSL. Nothing. Even if something was reading my clipboard or key presses, why would it write to a prod log group with a fake timestamp? Around 4:0, VS Code lit its inline blame on a line in a file I had open. Author E. Lynn committed in 2 minutes. If I don't use that blame extension, it's built into the editor. It reads the local Git history and shows relative time. In 2 minutes shouldn't be possible. I took a photo with my phone because screenshots felt ridiculous. 2 minutes later, protected branch force push came through. My terminal printed branch updated. The commit replacing head was from a bot user we use for migrations, co-authored by E. Lynn. The only change was a new line at the end of README and D. The author date was now. I paged my manager and said we needed to audit everything, plugins, pipeline, EM. He told me to sleep. I lay down and watched the ceiling until the sun came up. The next day I showed the screenshots. People nodded. Some were spooked. Most of the comments were variations on CloudWatch timestamp weirdness, a GitHub UI bug, Slack caching. I wanted that to be true more than anyone. I went back to the predict stream I'd made just to show that it was empty again. There was a new line at the top. Level, info MSG, if you see this, it worked, host, YM-10 thinlap process, code exe, event time, 3.17.0z, details, listen. WIN-10 thinlap is my machine name. Code, exe is VS Code. I didn't post that. There was no process on my system with a network connection when I checked. The message was attached to the prod ALB log group with the same tag, user Ellie. I still haven't deleted anything. I'm writing this from the same chair, with Slack closed, Chrome closed, airplane mode on, every extension disabled. My phone across the room. While I typed the last line, VS Code started showing grey ghost text again, finishing my sentence with something I wasn't going to write. Don't close the editor at 3:17.